Look, it's in a tight season. It's pretty significant. Obviously, there's a bit of pressure on coming over here. We lost last week, and we just needed to play each game on its merits. And as I said, leading in the game, every win's going to be important between now and the end of the year. And when you can get another big win on the road, which we've done now a few times this year, they do make a difference, hopefully.
Mentally, it was a big test when they kicked 7 in a row, though, to be able to turn that around the second half.
Yeah, it's bloody impressive, wasn't it? To come back in Perth against a team that's in pretty good form, to respond, and to show some real, grunt and ticker for the boys to not give it away, and they were pretty determined to make sure this was a significant day. And you should say, why don't you like that every week? But questions keep getting asked, and I suppose they got sick of them.
Kicking straight helps.
Makes a difference in footy, doesn't it? It's just amazing what kicking the ball through the big sticks can do. There's a lot of things we talk about, a lot of things we work on. Still the most undervalued or underrated of all is just kicking it straight when you get your time.
Did you feel like when Wines kicked that first one that hopefully this was the day when they were going to go through?
Yeah, well, what they do is they, like every club, they spend a lot of time working on it. And look, we every one of them this week, actually, I could just see them out through the week. They just spent some more time there, and they knew the importance of it, and they've tried really hard now to get that right. That's not always going to work like that, but I was pleased for them that they got some result.
Not even efficiency, but even getting shots on goal. I think you went 30 shots on goal from 60 entries, and it's something you've spoken about, so that must have been pleasing against a side that's noted to be a defending team. Yeah,
that's what I thought we learnt and adjusted a lot from our last time against West Coast, albeit the 7 goals in a row had a second guessing, but when we then turned it around and dominated entry in the second half, which we did over in Adelaide, and we just couldn't score in Adelaide, whereas today we really did look like we were going to score nearly each time we went in there.
You helped them to 14 inside 50s in the second half. What do you make of that effort?
That's what we're really strong defensive team most of the year. We've been able to do that, and that's been the reason we've won games more often than not for us. And, we've missed some opportunities in other games, but we have to be a defensive first team and we have to be a contest team, and that's what we do, and then hopefully we score, which today we did.
Given they fielded 2 genuine ruckmen in Vardy and Lyson, how big was Paddy Ryder's performance?
Pretty big. Pretty special player. I love him. I can't help that, but he's the best ruckman in the competition, and we're lucky to have him back in the team this year, and he's just dominating games week in, week out.
Can you talk through the influence of stoppages? I think you kicked 9 goals from stoppages.
Last year we were questioned about some of our midfield method and effort. We did it with an undersized ruckman all year, and we brought one of the most talented ruckmen back into the team, and after a year out, I've said this a couple of weeks ago, he's had a significant impact. Having had a year off football, I won't say I was going to say maybe I should give him a year off, but I don't want to ever do that again. But he's been really powerful for us.
What's it like for you as a coach from having, bare ruck stocks to having the best ruckman in the competition now? It's such a contrast from one year to the next.
It's not so much me for the coach. I'd say ask the boys who are playing at his feet. That's what I would say. Ask Ollie, ask Brad, ask young Sam Powell-Pecker, Joey Atley, Chad Wingard, Robbie Gray, those sort of people. They're the ones who appreciate the most, and Paddy was again really strong for us. We're happy to have him back.
Were you tempted, Ken, to swing Jacko back when their tall forwards looked like they were getting on top in the first half? Obviously you stuck it out and he kicked 2 in the last quarter, which is a good reward for him.
Yeah, no, because we've committed to a certain path with certain players, and when Tom Cleary and Tom Jonas and Jack Homsch together, they're going to play those games for us, and they're going to play those roles for us, and every opportunity they get tested and they withstand that themselves, well, that's a great growth moment for us. And Jacko will still play some football back at some stage, but it's not our first choice.
Felt that the shoulder looked really bad initially. What was the prognosis on that?
I'd say it's a bruise for him. That's just what he's like. It'll be pretty sore. There's no doubt about that. But I laugh about it. But I don't think there was he's from Western Australia. I reckon they would have seen him do that as a kid. But today, that's a big hit and a fair hit. Again, he's one of my favourites. I shouldn't say that.
Did it pop out at all? Or?
No, he just got whacked because he hit him so hard with his shoulder, and a fair tackle. He just hurt himself. Yeah. It was quite funny seeing both boys get off the ground, both courageous and strong. One that did the hit and the one that copped the hit, and they both hopped up and they played on. Great effort.
So you think he'll be sore, but okay?
Oh, no, he'll play. Good luck trying to stop him. I couldn't imagine him stopping.
Ken, some blokes have obviously played really consistent footy for 4 quarters. Other guys didn't have much of an impact and then came into it in the second half. Wingard, Impey had a big last quarter. Is that a lesson for the players that you never out of it?
Yeah, clearly, but I mean, we tried to do something different, slightly different at the start of the game with Chad, and the first 5 or 6 minutes it looked like it was okay. We kicked a couple of stoppage goals and looked dangerous, and then he couldn't get into the game, and now he willed himself into the game, and then come very significant in the game. And Jars, you're right, you know, you're never sure. It might be the last quarter that you make a massive difference, and pressure makes a massive difference.
You said Chad willed himself into the game up. Did you have to challenge him at half time?
No.
Hardly touch it.
No, not at all with Chad. I mean, he wants the ball. There's no problems with that. And we probably had him in a position where he couldn't influence as much. And then when we put him back around the ball, you see why we don't mind him there. And you also see why we like Robbie up in the front half, because he can win big one-on-one battles.
Charlie Dixon, some words on his performance?
Yeah, I mean, he's had a really strong year. He's had an outstanding year for us. I'm not sure what he kicked. Did he kick 5 or 6? 5. I don't know whether he kicked any points, but he, again, like the rest of the team, when you kick straight and you're big, man, he's been a significant player for us all year, but together they're significant, not individually. I've probably wrapped up Paddy and 1 or 2 others too much, but it's the team.
West Coast started the round in 7th, finally ends with questions of a top 8 scout.
Does it?
Move on mentally.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Seriously, it doesn't matter. We've won some big games away, and we've still got another 6 or 7 games, I can't remember what's left, to set ourselves into a position we want to be. And every win in this competition, I said on radio before the game, there'll be 12 teams today sitting there thinking they can win it if they get it right this year. And that's never been like that before. So it doesn't matter any of those 12 teams you play, they're big wins. Thank you.
Thank you.